so now let's talk about how to implement everything we just went through. And I know it sounds, maybe skeptical, I don't know, but if you are, that's cool. We're going to keep moving forward and see how this plays out. But I do know this, that no one else in the industry is singing this song, and those who may be close to it actually probably have a wonderful, rewarding business, not only to their lives but their clients' lives. So, you have nothing to lose and everything to gain. No benefit from me. Again, I'm not here to try to sell you anything. I'm just here to help and just looking at the industry and at a different set of eyes that it's kind of funny for me to say that God's given me. So, all right, so how this works out. In your gym, again, everything we talked about has to be measurable. You can speak all this crap, but you got to be able to back it up. So what I talked about earlier is making sure that the mindset of getting people to follow you and becoming a tribe or a cult or community is to keep the message going. You'll find that in churches, you'll find that in tribes, you'll find that in cults, that they're singing the same message. This is our mission. This is what we're about changing 1,000 lives. This is our organization we want to donate to. We believe in paying it forward. We're here to change your life. Everything in that direction. Everything in that direction. Everything in that direction. Every ad you put out needs to kind of put it, you don't want to put it out right off the bat, but all the ads are moving forward. Hopefully, be able to shoot some videos of yourself just being in front of the camera, maybe shoot some footage of your boot camp. I'm working on a gentleman, or the guy who shot videos at our conference, to help a owner actually produce quality videos that they can post up on their funnel pages or whatever, that really gives a good glimpse of what you're about, what your facility's about, what your members are about. And so, telling you how to shoot it, what to look at, you may have to buy. I looked at some other things that you can take your smartphone and has the light and a steady stick and microphones that'll help you shoot some amazing videos just from your iPhone or your Android. So, working on that. His name's Brent Miles, so if we can get that worked out, basically he'll give you instructions on how to shoot it. He comes back, he edits it, puts it all together for you. Luckily he's the ripe old age of 16 or 17, and so he's not going to charge us a massive amount of money. It's going to be a fair price, and it's not worth your time. Okay, like even after this video, I got to go through and edit and cut this stuff, which I don't have the time to do. Let me turn my light back on because my pretty head looks better with a light on. So yeah, it makes it look better, don't it? All right, so again, posters with some meaningful messages. Make sure your Facebook post is riddled with messages, testimonials, what your experience like in your club. Making sure you put that out there, okay? All right, so in one part of your club, your 1,000 lives you're changing will be a wall over here. And so every testimony you'll get that you change a life. Now, life doesn't mean that they lost weight. Life change could be, man, before I started coming here, I was stressed out, depressed, didn't know what I was going to do with my life. But just a few, 3-4 weeks I've been here, oh my gosh, you guys have changed my life. I'm happy. I feel like I have a purpose. Boom, that's a life change. And so making sure you take them testimonials, before and after pictures, find a way you can display them, but then ticker tape down 998, 997, 654, all the way down to 0, reset, okay? That way it's a good visual, they see what's going on, hopefully their name is on the wall, but they see what you're about. So when so that's a visual. Have another wall set up for your organization or your donation wall. Now, it doesn't mean you have to be tied to one organization, but you want that one base organization that you're tied to, and showing on a monthly basis. So you have it up there on a monthly basis. You can say, hey, total so far, $10,999. This month, Susie was able to bring in 4 members, and donating her name was $200. Check-ins equal this much this month. Really being transparent about what you do, and if you can find some testimonials or maybe some testimonial pictures you've taken of some of the lives that's changed out there, some of the stuff they're doing, making sure it's a good, when you look at it, it's a good representation. When a new person walks up, they can pretty get a good idea of what that wall's about, okay? Again, people see it happening, they're going to be tied in. Another wall, if you get into the MyFit members educational program, it's going to be providing certifications or certificates, and they'll be printed off. And so, of course, the client will get one. But if you make copies of it, you can make a wall with certificates. And who knows? After a year, you'll have these a wall of nothing but certificates. So as you imagine, when a new member comes in, they're going around the facility, and it's like, hey, what's all the certificates about? Well, let me tell you. Hey, what's that about right there? Well, let me talk about that. Hey, what's that about? And so now you really have some good conversations and showing, even though you said it, you actually show that new member what you're really about. And of course, making sure that there was another wall. Maybe they're not. Anyway, we'll talk about that later. So making sure that it's measurable, you're showing people what you're doing, the message is in place, and the groundwork is there. Now, to take it to another level, as you keep cranking along, you guys know it, that's been in the business for a while, there's about 4 or 5, maybe 10 people in your club that's excited about being there. It's coming 5-6 days a week. They just love it, and it started changing their life, and they're helping everybody else. Gather them people up, bring them into your office, and say, hey, you guys are sitting here because I've noticed how this program has changed your life. Susie, you lost 20 pounds. Jane, you've lost 40 pounds. You've overcome some whatever eating disorder, whatever. It could be anything. And as you know, our message and what we're about, that if this program's changed your life, now it's time for you to pay it forward. Because if you start paying it forward, you'll never fall back to where you came from. And I know you guys don't want to fall back to where you came from, and I don't want you to fall back where you came from. And so, are you ready to pay it forward? Of course they're going to say yes, okay? So they're going to say, how can I do it? But what can I do? Well, like we talked about earlier, making sure they're the ones greeting that client at the front door. They're the ones introducing themselves, showing people around. They see a new person come in class, they're walking up to them, hey, would you like to work out with me today? They're helping them, keeping them 50%, not making sure they're overdoing it. Another thing you can do is give each one of these maybe 20 names. Hey, I'm going to give you guys 20 names. All I want you to do is reach out to these people, friend them, let them know, you're a member here, you care. If Jane misses 4, 5, 6 days, and we'll help you with the reports and stuff and let you know, but if they miss 4, 5, 6 days, it's more powerful for you to call them concerned, getting them back in here than it is for us. Again, people look at us as, no matter how great we're doing here, they still have that perception that we're here to take their money. Of course, we need money to make everything work, to make the bills paid and all this stuff, and pay all the employees. But that's not what our true motivation is. And to hear that message come from you is far better than coming from us. Now, I'm going to come up with some other things. Right now, I don't know what they can do, and I'll kind of go a little bit deeper just a second. Another thing you can do, this is what churches do. I think it's a great practice to put inside your clubs. If you go to church, you may be familiar with small groups. Basically, new churches got away from Sunday schools. They have small groups, and let's say John has a bike riding club, and he's a bike riding small group. And so what they do is, the reason they do it is they know that if they get these small groups going, they start tying these relationships together. People start leaning on each other, form friendships, and never want to leave. So why can't we do that in our clubs? Why can't Susie have a bike riding club? Why can't Jane have a book reading club? Why can't such and such have this kind of club? A walking club, hiking club, whatever, and do it, do these clubs maybe 3 times a year. Maybe they're running only 12 weeks like the church does, and that way gives them time to rotate and do another type of club, or somebody wants to step up and say, hey, I want to do a cooking club. But once you do that, what you'll see start happening is the friendships being tied together deeper than you can ever imagine, and the likelihood of them leaving your gym is very few and far between, okay? So that's a couple of things there. A little deeper, maybe, the tradition says that if it's a client's birthday, of course, we wish them happy birthday, may send them a card. But what if we was able to keep up with their children's birthday, and we send their child a $5, maybe $10 gift through the mail as a gift from us to the child for his birthday? That's a deeper message. that nobody else is doing, and it's a real easy thing to do. Or maybe you send an anniversary gift card for them to go out and eat. So husband and wife's anniversary, you're keeping track of it, and they get a gift card. And that's a different message, because the husband may be going, hey, spending this money each month on their gym membership. All of a sudden he gets a card, and you're paying him. You're basically asking him to go out and dinner. You say, hey, go out and dinner on my dime, or half of it at least. All of a sudden he's going to realize what you're about too. So just different levels. I'm going to spend the rest of next year, actually, before the next conference, and really go out and find the clubs in the nation, whether it's Fit Body or whatever, that have very, very high retention rates, and just figure out what they're doing, and then bring that back and teach it to you guys, because retention is where it's at. We spend a lot of our time on this hamster wheel getting people in the door, and we don't spend enough time keeping them. That's why we're being taught, and that's what's being taught at the upper level. Funnels, email lists, blah 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 blah. When if we focus a lot of our time and energy on fostering the community that we have, tying friendships together, maybe there's a day, just maybe there's a day, when somebody comes up and says, hey, I want to be part of your facility or your boot camp or your exercise program. You say, hey, I am so sorry, we are totally full. I can put you on the waiting list, but I can call you just as soon as the first one comes open. Now that's very powerful. You may think that's kind of hokey. I used to own a daycare center, 141 kids, and we were there. We put people on a waiting list all the time. And when we finally called them and said, hey, we have a spot open, they quit wherever they was at and come to us, because they knew if we had that long a waiting list, we must be damn good at what we do. So you need to be damn good at what you do, so people are knocking down your doors to get in. So all the systems that we've been taught, all the crap we've been taught, it's good stuff, but it takes our attention away where it should be, and it's on our clients. And really digging in, really being present with your clients, being present with anybody you talk to, looking them in the eyes, just engaging and listening, showing them who you are, being transparent, will change the whole dynamic of your business. I know I sound passionate, I know I sound kind of hokey, and some of you guys are not going to get this. That's okay. It's not for everybody. But the ones who do grab a hold of this, you will start changing lives on a different level. And if we all start doing something like this, it's possible that we can start changing lives on a national level. So I know that's me going kind of out there, but I believe it can happen. If it doesn't start happening, our society is in some big trouble. And it's going to take all of us as fitness professionals to really get up and figure out why the heck we got into this business in the first place, that has lost our way, and get back and start changing lives, and then influencing other clubs. I'm just going to throw this out there. This come up in a mastermind program I was at last week in California. Mike Bledsoe's CrossFit mastermind, which I've been learning from the CrossFit side. A lot of, if you have competition that comes in town, or even another boot camp 4 or 5 miles away, man, I don't believe in competition. I'm always the one that if a gym come to my town, our new exercise program, I was knocking on their door. It really freaked them out. It was like, what are you doing here? You're my competition. I'm like, hey, I'm not your competition. Are you in the business of changing lives? Yeah. Well, I'm in the business of changing lives. So why don't we make sure we're not enemies here, and make sure we're operating our business with integrity? That means I'm not going to try to solicit any of your clients and steal them. It should be a choice. If you have a better program than me, by all means, they should go to you. It's my job to up my game. And so if you can really start looking at competition, having conversations with owners, integrity, man, we could make a big difference. So anyway, that's me, my soapbox. If you have any questions or concerns or anything about this video, please call me or set up an appointment with me. I am going to start putting some action plans. There's actually an email that goes out prior to the orientation There's a group close, a Groupon video I'll shoot next and talk about how to handle Groupons in your group orientation. But if you can have these group orientations once or twice a week, it really systematizes things. You get a closing rate of 90% and above, and it really takes a lot of stress off you chasing people down, making sure they're going to sign your agreement. I hope this helped, and if you love it, like it, please let me know, and I look forward to working with anybody that wants to go down this road. Thank you. You guys have a blessed day.